yes, there was going to be this unprecedented, historic airlift of a lot of Afghans out of Kabul to save their lives, and they would need to go somewhere, right? And so we resettlement agencies all over the country, including St. Vincent Catholic Charities, were asked how many we would be prepared to serve when they got here. I think we were a little blindsided about how it was going to be. We thought it was going to be like our normal resettlement, right? And we were going to be able to bring people here and do our case management, but it was so much more than that. It was much more like a kind of a disaster response, right? Because we had to put people in hotels, completely different experience for us. That we had to bring them food every day, completely different experience for us. And so it threw us back a lot. We had to hire so many more staff. We had to get into the Afghan community so that we could understand more about their culture, get people who spoke the language, and we really had to connect with them as quickly as possible.
So initially, we were approached by St. Vincent, their refugee services, when they first learned that they were going to be the resettlement agency for about 300 Afghan nationals in our region. They called and they wondered if we would be willing to partner with them on the food effort for the folks that were coming. We immediately said yes. We didn't know how we were going to do it. We didn't know how long it would last, but we knew that it was our mission and our role to serve these Afghan neighbors, just as it would be any cultural group that might be resettling in our community. So I immediately then called Cristo Community Center and asked if they would allow us to use their kitchen to make the hot meals that needed to be provided 7 days a week, twice a day, for those who were in the hotel before they were able to be housed in their permanent housing. They immediately said yes, and again, we really didn't know exactly how we were going to pull this off. But they had an amazing group of volunteers that comes from St. John's Student Parish and St. Thomas Aquinas that were called and said yes to the effort as well. They would provide all of the volunteers that were going to be needed for the meal making effort.
We would go to an international market on South Pennsylvania and pick up the naan bread that they really liked. And it was really months into it before one of the clerks that was there, she finally asked, why were we coming in so often and buying so much bread? And I told her that finally that we were preparing dinners for the Afghans down at the hotel. And she got the biggest smile on her face, and she just went, she goes, your food is so beautiful and it's so tasty, and that was really touching. Can't speak enough about Cristo Rey and the food bank and their willingness to, whatever we needed, you know, the cardamom, which is just one little jug of it is $40, and there was no hesitation at all about you know, giving us the proper tools to feed them the best we could.
I think that the greater community wants to see agencies come together to tackle problems. And you know, at the end of the day, there was a great demonstration of that. You know, generally speaking, nonprofits, you know, we're like David's handling Goliath-sized problems. And, you know, doing it alone, it's lonely and it feels impossible. But doing it with others, it makes you feel the possibility that, you know, that you can do it and you have support. And that's really what it was. Good experience, really good experience.
Throughout the whole effort, the partnerships really was what made this entire initiative work. 6 months later, we're now ending the meal preparation for the hot meal program, but the Afghan nationals will still need food from the community and from the Greater Lansing Food Bank. So our plan is to create boxes of food that is culturally relevant, that they know how to use and cook with, and that means in some cases ordering specialty foods. But that's what we are called to do as a food bank, no matter what the culture or the stage or the religion or whatever the need is. So that's where we're headed in the future.